Today we are talking about soulmates. Do they actually exist? In fact, what is a soulmate? And have you already met your soulmate? Now, here is probably the best question. What effect are soulmates having on dating? Today I'm going to use a video clip from a woman on Instagram named Flossy Baby who's giving women some dating advice. So make sure you join this conversation. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment under this video. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal. So here we go.
At some point, every girl is going to experience her first good guy, and he's not to be confused with your soulmate because he's usually not your soulmate. That's the gag. But his role in your life is still important because after him, your dating life changes significantly. This is the guy that comes in to give you a glimpse of what it's like to be cared for, to be desired, and to feel like you were never asking for too much. Enough to change your perspective on dating, but not.
Why are good guys getting so much disrespect? And let me say this, the way that she's speaking, the soulmate is going to be disrespected as well because he's going to have to deal with so much dating damage and relationship trauma. The soulmate may not even want to stick around. In fact, when you hear, you know what, let's continue.
Not enough to be your soulmate. When I experienced my first good guy, I knew that he was definitely better than the guys that I had previously dated. But I also knew that the relationship wasn't going to be sustainable long term because there were certain differences that inevitably sent us our separate ways. The role of the good guy is to simply teach you two things. Number one, good men do exist. They are out there and you were never asking for too much. The things that you feel like only exist in a movie or in books, it's real and it's out there. And number two, just because something feels good enough doesn't mean it's exactly what you're looking for. And you do not need to settle. When you experience
There are 2 million more women in the United States than there are men. Ladies, if you don't need to settle, I don't know what to tell you. This is dating advice. Women outnumber men by 2 million. This includes the unattractive men, the rich men, the men that are married already, the men that are already in relationships, the men that like men, the men that have no interest in women. Women outnumber men by 2 million. Let's continue.
your first good guy, it's gonna feel good, but it's not gonna be as quite fulfilling as it will be with your soulmate. And that's the distinction between the two. The good guy is like the appetizer and the soulmate is like the full course meal. And the ironic part is that when you meet your soulmate, he's gonna make the good guy look like a decent man because the things that you thought that you would never find in another man that you had in the good guy, your soulmate is going to not only meet those expectations, but exceed them. The good guy was never supposed to be your end game. He simply came to show you a glimpse of what was possible, a crumb of what was possible. Because the guys that came before him weren't doing enough, you're gonna feel like, oh my God, this is it. This is my soulmate. He's not your soulmate. Your soulmate has not arrived yet. Enjoy
The guys, the men before the good guy, and then the soulmate. That's a lot. That's a lot. And this is dating advice. I just want y'all to know that this is dating advice. We're getting ready to talk about soulmates. Let's continue.
the good guy. Allow yourself to be receptive of healthy love. Allow yourself to understand that the things that you desire in a man are not impossible, but also understand that he is not endgame. He is only the tip of the iceberg. He is only the appetizer, and the entree is not even here yet. At some point. Oh my God, are you okay? I'm okay.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Something tells me that this woman likes to eat a lot. Now, before we get into this talk, I really want you guys to think about something. Is she telling you the truth or is she telling you how she feels? Now, the reason I'm asking you that is because when talking about a soulmate, this soulmate is gonna have to deal with so much damage and trauma. I don't think the soulmate is gonna want to stick around. In fact, this woman said that her expectations will be exceeded. And in my mind, I said, wait a minute. All the men that I'm talking to or have talked to or just spoke with, the majority of them always say the same thing. And that conversation always centers around that woman is impossible to satisfy. Impossible. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how long you do it. Someday it's not going to be good enough. It's just not going to be good enough. So really quick, let's get into a soulmate. What is a soulmate? Now, first, I want you guys to understand I did a little bit of research on this. Okay. Now, the research that I found talked about soulmates in two different ways. The first way is it is a myth. So when we hear women bring up these long laundry lists of things that they want in a man, we say, you know what, that is not even real. The man you're looking for is not real. That man does not exist. Now, the other way of describing a soulmate is a family member, a friend, or a mentor. Okay, so when it's dealing with the romantic aspect of a soulmate, that is supposed to be your other half. Now, based on this research that I did, this supposedly comes from the Greek culture. Okay, now this person that was split in half had 4 arms and 4 legs. Okay, so they were split in half so that they could spend their lives searching for each other. Forever searching, forever searching. The reason I'm saying it, or the reason I repeated that, was because when I seen that in my research, I said, wow, that means you're spending your entire life looking for your soulmate. A soulmate that is a myth. Now, the great thing, or some good things about the soulmate, is the reason why this resonates with women so much is because of what the soulmate is supposed to represent, which is someone who deeply understands and accepts you for who you are. Me, I categorize that as a companion, somebody that's going to be there no matter what happens. That person is going to be there. Now, when listening to this woman, do you think she's the type of woman that's going to be there no matter what happens? Now, when listening to this woman, what I heard was, I like this man and I don't like these men. Or this man dumped me, or I dumped that man. That's what I heard. Like versus settling. That's a really easy way for me to put it. Hopefully it's understandable. The next thing is, when it comes to women giving dating advice, the thing I hear the most is leave him. There's other men out there. Now, I won't disagree or agree with that statement, but what I will say is any relationship you get into is a risk. It doesn't matter if you think this woman is the one or if you think this woman is just one of many. The reason I say it like that is because I recently came across a man who was married for 35 years. And when I spoke to him a little bit about what's going on in dating today, he was thoroughly surprised. He did not really understand what I was saying. In fact, to him, what I was saying sounded like a foreign language because he understood something early on, and that is, you take care of this woman and that woman is supposed to take care of you, right? So when we hear people talk about 50-50, it's really 100-100. I give my all, you give your all. It's not I give and you take. It's I give and you take, and you give and I take, right? It's an even exchange. I don't know how else to make that sound and be the way that it's actually supposed to be. Now, when it comes to the soulmate, once again, the soulmate is the one that is supposed to make you feel at ease. It's supposed to deeply understand you and accept whatever you've done in your life, because that person wants to be there. That person is supposed to bring ease, right? What I'm saying is, it's everything that's positive. The messed up part about it being positive is there's definitely negatives. There's pros and cons to everything in life. Why wouldn't there be any cons to having a soulmate? Here's the point that I really want you guys to understand. Women are really living in a fantasy land. In the fantasy land that they're living in, they're really speaking to other women as if this thing actually exists. Here's the crazy thing. You could have met your soulmate, or in fact, some people do meet their soulmate, but it's too late, meaning they've already built a life with someone else, meaning they have children, they're married,